For over 400 years, the soil of this nation has been soaked in the blood and sweat of my ancestors. People who didn't migrate here, but were brought here in chains. We've been waiting on a promise of 40 acres and a mule that never arrived. We watched the GI Bill build the white middle class while we were redlined into the margins. And now we're hearing the whispers and the open proposals by politicians such as Prima Jayapal to take taxpayer dollars and cut a reparations check, not for blacks whose ancestors tilled the soil of this country for hundreds of years, but for illegal, criminal, alien migrants who just arrived yesterday, breaking the laws of this land that so many of our people are sitting behind bars for breaking to do it. It's not just a policy disagreement this time. It's a slap in the face. They are playing in our face, as black folks like to say. It's the ultimate erasure of a specific historical debt owed to the descendants of the formerly enslaved. You cannot equate a struggle of choice to cross a border with the catastrophe, with the genocide, abuse, humiliation, and torture of a people who were stolen from a continent. To fund the trauma of illegal entry while the generational wealth gap for black Americans continues to increase is like a festering wound of betrayal. You're using our language, our words, our word, reparations. But most importantly, you're using our money as taxpayers to bypass the will of the people who actually built this nation. It's time to stop the line cutting, letting people who came in at a later date go to the front of the line, and start the settling of debts that actually exist. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I was surprised to hear that Prima Jayapal, member of the squad, always talking trash, is actually out here throwing around this idea that some type of reparations needs to be paid to illegal, criminal, alien, rapist immigrants. See, this is how the Democrat Party gets you. They lure you in with this idea that you need to have empathy, and you need to have sympathy, and you need to be tolerant and accepting of people who are breaking the laws of your nation. And before you know it, you've been replaced by these people. It's like your girlfriend saying, hey, he's just my friend. We just went out for coffee. And then the next thing you know, he's balls deep in your woman. It always starts with a friendly gesture. I've been watching for the past 5 years as my people try to further align themselves with the Democrat Party by entertaining an idea that is totally against our natural logic. I've been watching for 5 years as my people, in an effort to be deemed more acceptable to by the Democrat Party, have been agreeing to something that deep down inside they know is wrong. Joe Biden let 20 million illegal immigrants into this country. Upon entering the country, they immediately begin to prove exactly what was said in the 2010 study conducted by the Obama administration. They begin to intrude upon the spaces of Black Americans and prey on Black Americans. The 2010 study said that illegal immigration had a disproportionately negative impact on African Americans. But the white liberal told you, no, that's all BS. That's a lie. Those are racist, Republican, white supremacist talking points. But then Biden let these people in. And everything they told us was a lie turned out to be true. But then I watched my people do something that is unexplainable. I watched my people still go to the voter booth in 2024 and vote 85% in favor of Democrats. Democrats let 20 million illegal alien migrants into this country, which directly harmed Black communities. I mean, they had Black schools being shut down permanently to become shelters for illegal aliens. Black folks in Chicago, New York, all over the country went to their Democrat-led city councils and begged for them to stop the madness. And they were rejected. They were met with scrutiny. They were met with disrespect. They were met with a slap in the face. And for some reason, my people still went into the voter booth in 2024 and overwhelmingly supported that same Democrat Party. At some point, I can't even blame the politicians anymore. At some point, I have to look my own people in the face and say, what more do you have to give? You've given your economy. You've given the lives of your children. You've given your community. You've given your families. You've even given your identity to these people. And they can just discard you like nothing. I don't know if you guys ever saw the movie Waiting to Exhale. I ain't even talking about the movie. What's the damn movie with Mary J. Blige? Well, all the time that I was loving you, you were busy loving yourself. What? That's us. I would stop breathing if you told me to. Now you're busy loving someone else. But we ain't going to say 11 years. We're going to be like 75 years of sacrifice. And you will leave me at the drop of a dime. That's us. They're dogging us, man. They are dogging us bad. And the more we point it out, the more we're ridiculed, called coons, and everything else, right? But here's the thing. It's like now, it's not just us saying it and trying to point out these like nuanced, ways where they're dogging you and taking advantage of you. It's like now they're openly telling you. They're like, we're not only not going to give you reparations, don't even think about it. We're going to turn around and hand reparations to another group of people. And what makes it even more of a slap in the face is that the group of people that they're going to hand reparations to aren't even people who are citizens. They have so much hatred for Black people that they are willing to betray black people for a group of people who can't even vote for them. They hate black people so much that they'll give reparations. They'll give what you've been fighting for shit 100 and something years. They're willing to entertain the idea of giving it to a group of people who have no value to them. According to them, illegals aren't participating in elections. But if illegals aren't participating in elections, why are Democrats so hard pressed to do so much for them? Like, please answer that question for me. If illegal immigrants have no impact on elections, why are Democrats so willing to bend over backwards for them? Even if it means spitting in the face of black America. But these are the conversations they don't want to have. Well, you know what we're going to do? We're going to do what we always do. We're going to minimize it. That's not what they're trying to do. Man, they just trying to trick you. They just exaggerating. That's what they said when we said, hey, Biden trying to let a bunch of immigrants in the country. I remember the day Joe Biden was on stage and he said, I would urge illegals to come in to surge the border and come into this country. Every news station, I remember my channel. I jumped on my channel and I was like, guys, Biden is literally telling you what he's trying to do. He's trying to bring a bunch of illegal immigrants into the country. He's bringing them in to displace blacks and poor whites. Nah, you lying. You just exaggerating. You just love Trump. You just a coon. What did he do? He got in office and immediately start bringing these people in. Like, how many times do we have to warn you? How many times do we have to tell you, those people don't give a damn about you. Those people are using you for your vote. And you've given them their vote for nothing in return so long that now they're taking your vote for granted. But nah, Brandon, I'm a grown-ass man who want to listen to my damn grandma or my wife or my girlfriend or the girl that I like who ain't never going to sleep with me. That's us. Our community is led by women. And not to mention the fact that the Bible says to be led by women is a curse. Forget the Bible. Throw that out the window. Where has it gotten you? And I'm asking women this too. Where has it gotten you? You have to fight for men to go in your bathroom. You have to fight for men to replace you in your own sports. At this point, nothing more can be said other than to even vote Democrat is a self-destructive habit. It's like doing crack. Because everything you support lessens you to a certain extent. I got to get into these clips because these clips are so damning. I got to get into them. So let's just do that right now. Where's this?
Then we also need offensive actions around prosecutions. We need real accountability because at the end of the day, the people that have been inflicting this harm need to be prosecuted. They need to be brought before us and they need to be held account for the trauma that they have created, and we are going to have some form of reparation. Then we also need offensive actions around prosecutions. We need real accountability because at the end of the day, the people that have been inflicting this harm need to be prosecuted. They need to be brought before us and they need to be held account for the trauma that they have created, and we are going to have some form of reparation. Then we
So this is Prima Jayapal. She's literally saying oh man, we need to prosecute officers for upholding the law. Think about that. You got a group of people breaking the laws of this country, and the people who are, commissioned and given the authority to uphold the law and enforce the law, she's saying they need to be prosecuted. And not only do we need to prosecute the people whose job it is to uphold the law, we need to then turn around and give taxpayer dollars to people who are not even citizens of this country and reward them for breaking the law. Saying that, why wouldn't every person from South America come into the United States? I go into the United States, they kick me out, and then I receive a big fat check for reparations. Has this woman ever even entertained the idea of reparations for African Americans or the descendants of African slaves? Of course not. But I bet you when she runs for office in her district, you got a bunch of black women jumping up and down, screaming at the top of their lungs, telling people to go support her because she's a woman. I feel like the black women who support this stuff need to be held accountable, but we refuse to do it. All we do is, oh man, them the queens. Them the queens, man. You being too hard on the queens. Well, how long do you have to act in a treasonous way towards your own kingdom before you are no longer considered a queen? Let's be real. The sins of the Democrat Party and the black people who support them have piled up to heaven and are a blatant slap in the face and sign of demonic levels of disrespect and hatred for their own community. But I can't even say that. PJ the PB, listen, even if no one deserves reparations, why are we even entertaining? Look, like, I want people to compartmentalize. They're saying blacks don't deserve reparations, and you may or may not agree with that. But if we say blacks don't deserve reparations, well, we know that there's no way in hell a bunch of non-citizen criminal illegal migrants deserve reparations. That's like a parent saying, man, son, I can't buy you a car, but I'm about to go work hard as hell to give the next door neighbor a damn limousine. Like, what? If I'm your blood and I don't even deserve a car, and I've been having to deal with your bullshit all my life, I know that there's no way in hell the neighbor who wouldn't give a squirt of piss to put you out if you was on fire deserves to get a limo. But this is exactly what we're saying. Put down your opposition to black reparations for a minute. I want to understand, and I'm getting on black folks too now, but I want to understand how in the hell people can even listen to this woman talk about giving non-citizens taxpayer dollars in the form of reparations. How could you even hear that and not be immediately enraged? It's pissing me off.
You guys know that they are now trying to get reparations for illegal immigrants?
Inflicting this harm need to be prosecuted. They need to be brought before us, and they need to be held account for the trauma that they have created, and we are going to have some form of reparation for the kids and the families that have been traumatized through all of this.
Black Americans, if you haven't picked up on it yet, we are mystical. We are some magical motherfuckers, okay? Everything that we do.
Magically stupid. That's about it. We're not magical. I hate when people do that. You can't say that a group is magical when we sit up and sell ourselves out every chance we get. No, we are massively ignorant. That's what we are. Not magical. Massively ignorant. because there is no other group on earth that would continue to support a political party that continues to spit in their face every chance they get. At this point, the disrespect is just so acute. Anyone can see it. You can't say like back in the day, like, man, I didn't even know. I was ignorant. I didn't know what was up. You can't even say that anymore. It's literally right here slapping you in your face. In 2024, the 2020 election, every Democrat who was asked was like, I will never even entertain the idea of giving African Americans reparations. So black folks convinced the world that we somehow were still fighting for reparations by voting for a bunch of Democrats who said that they would never even consider giving black people reparations. I still see black folks talking about, oh, I support Bernie Sanders. You guys don't remember when Bernie said he would never, ever give reparations? Do you guys remember that? Nah, you forgot it on purpose so you wouldn't have to face reality. Kamala Harris said the same thing. Will you ever do anything specifically for black people? Specifically for black people? No. A rising tide lifts all boats. They ask everybody. They asked Joe Biden. They asked every Democrat candidate, would they consider giving black folks reparations? And every single Democrat candidate said no, with no hesitation. How are you telling me that you are fighting for reparations when you continue to vote for a party who has told you in no uncertain terms, we are not ever going to give you reparations? You ain't fighting for no damn reparations. You're just voting out of loyalty. That's it. Out of blind, ignorant loyalty.
Or say, it just catches on like wildfire. Everybody wants to be in the mix, right? I've been, reading up on the Bible and all kinds of things or whatever. And this is just too much of a coincidence. I refuse to believe that we're just regular niggas. I think we're different. We them ones. We're slowly waking up to it. Clearly, there has been an orchestrated effort to keep us from recognizing who the fuck we are. But it's like, I don't know. I just feel like a spell has been broken. Because just to step back and see, like, people tell us we have no culture while actively emulating us using AAVE, like they're so deep in our shit, they don't even realize it. I don't know, man. What do y'all think about this?
I think you're a fucking idiot. Black people are not just now waking up to this fact. Black people have known this for decades. Black folks have known that the Democrat Party wasn't trying to help black people for decades. Claude Anderson and them boys was even telling black people, hey, the Democrats, Malcolm X was telling you that the Democrats and the liberals wasn't doing nothing for you. What do you mean we're just now waking up? We've been woke, but woke is a joke, because woke only means that you recognize what they're doing to you and how they're playing you, but you're still going to continue to support them. You're like a person in a bad relationship. You know the person ain't no good for you. You know they out there doing you dirty, but you're going to still, that's my man, and I'm going to stick beside him, my head ass niggas. It's really disgusting. We've been new, but we keep pretending like we just woke up. You ever try to wake somebody up, but you know they faking sleep? And then they try to play it off like, oh, you like, come on, bro. You wasn't even asleep, dog. You been woke. That's black folks. But black folks were in something called denial. Black folks kept thinking, well, eventually they might give us something if we give up enough. That's why I compare black people to that book, The Giving Tree, where the tree just gave the boy everything it had till it didn't have nothing left and it was just a stump. And then the boy came on through and just sat on a tree. That's us. We've given the Democrat Party everything we had. Now we ain't nothing but a stump for them to stand on while they preach to the next group of people that they're looking to exploit. That's us. We're the stump. They don't need you anymore. You eradicated your own vote. Black folks eradicated their own vote and will still be in the streets marching and screaming, oh, amnesty and F ICE and all this shit. Like, bro, what are you talking about? ICE is the only thing standing between you and total irrelevance. You should be celebrating ICE at this point. But nope, Brandon, we can't do that because the Democrats didn't tell us to do it. If the Democrats came out tomorrow and told black people, all right, y'all, change your plans. We now supporting ICE. Black folks would be right out there screaming in support of ICE. All we do is what they tell us to do, like old coon dog.
And we also
Pramila Jayapal lays it out really well when she talks about reparations.
people that have been traumatized through all of this. Then we also
This Representative Jayapal, Democrat, is saying that if they win the mid-election, they need to give reparations to the children and families traumatized by ICE.
need to be held account for the trauma that they have created and
150, 500, not the black
traumatized through all of this.
not the black Americans that have been traumatized for over the last 450, 500 years in this country, or the ones that have been holding down the Democratic Party. No. When I tell you as black Americans, you better stop taking your eyes off the prize, because you continue to make Democrats and everyone else out here think that we good. Black Americans is good, y'all. We need to focus on a whole new group of people here that have not even bought into this, paid into the system like we have. This is so disrespectful. Number one, who's going to pay for them reparations? Because it damn sure wouldn't be black Americans paying reparations to people who came here hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years after us and ain't been a slave nowhere up in here. Nowhere. We're the ones that was picking cotton for free. We're the ones that built this country for 400 years for free. We are the women that were being legally raped in this country for centuries. No one else. How damn disrespectful of you to even talk about reparations for anyone other than us. This is what I'm saying about black folks. We got to stop. We are letting people disrespect our ancestors. For this lady to even open up her mouth talking about reparations for anybody else in this damn country, she must be crazy. Where's Roland Martin? Where's Joyanne Reed? Where's Tamika Mallory? Where all y'all at? Y'all was so mad at Nicki Minaj, but you ain't got nothing to say about this woman saying immigrants deserve reparations before us. That's why I say it's fake outrage. Everyone should be mad as hell about this right here. I wish y'all would. You would never get another damn vote from me ever again. Have a good day.
They should already never get a vote from this chick ever again. But she made some really great points. Why is it that all the black talking heads and the pundits, they never say anything in moments like these, such as these? They got so much to say when Trump says something or do something, but when it comes to a place where they should have to, split with the Democrat Party, you never hear it. Do you ever hear Roland Martin talking about transgenders in women's restrooms? No. Do you ever hear Roland Martin talking about the genital mutilation of children? No. Black Democrats conveniently ignore and avoid the conversations that have to do with crazy, radical things that the Democrat Party is supporting in an effort to keep the radicalized element within their party happy. They conveniently ignore these things. And you will not hear Roland Martin talking about how Jayapal is proposing reparations payments for illegal immigrants and their families. He won't talk about it because he knows that if you get up there and say, look, man, that's messed up, but I'm still rolling Democrat no matter what, his audience will turn on him. They won't stop voting Democrat. What they'll do is they'll stop watching Roland Martin, continue to vote Democrat, and then when the illegals are getting reparations check, turn around crying and belly aching. We didn't even know this was a thing. They knew. We've always known. We've always known what the Democrat Party was about. Guys, we have a challenge, a $5 challenge. We already got somebody helping us out. We got Sucker Season LA in the building with the first $5 holler. Salute. Salute to you as well, my brother. Please help us reach our goal of 10 $5 super chats or 10 super chats of $5 or more. You can do it with the super chat button down at the right hand side of the screen on the side of the chat box, or you can send it through PayPal or Cash App. Both are pinned to the top of the chat. But what kills me the most, more so than even people like Roland Martin, is these other black streamers, these other black podcasters who constantly are ridiculing and criticizing black conservatives. But then when it comes to the reparations for blacks, you don't hear them say, when it comes to stuff like this where the Democrats are slapping blacks in the face, they're totally quiet about it. They're totally quiet about it. Go look at your black liberal streamers and podcasters. I saw Viral Way. Yeah, Mr. Viral. Just dumb as hell. Yeah, black Trump supporters. What did y'all get, man? Y'all got more war. All this dumb stuff. Okay, let me look at black liberals. What did y'all get? Y'all get to watch y'all party tell you how when you vote for them and you give them back power during the midterms, they're literally going to give the reparations you want, you've been fighting for. And they've been telling you, we ain't got the money. They're literally going to find that money to give to illegal immigrants. For me, that's a bit more important than Iran getting bombed out, because I can give a shit about Iran. That's a bit more important. So I got to vote for a party that spit in my face and slapped me in my face to show, out of loyalty, to show how much I hate Trump, or to prove that I'm black. I promise you they're not going to bring this up. I promise you Roland Martin's not going to bring this up. Nina Turner ain't bringing this up. Summer Saunders, I like to call her Summer Sausage because she looked like a man. She's not going to bring this up on her show. Abby Phillip is not going to bring this up on her show because they are told all they are gatekeepers. Their only job is to keep black folks from leaving the Democrat plantation. Let's see if Candace Owens gets on this one. Let's see if Tucker Carlson gets on this one. Let's see if Joe Kent has something to say about this. I bet he won't. I bet he won't. And then I'm already seeing in the comments, our defense mechanism. Well, they the same. They two wings on the same bird. I don't hear no Republicans talking about giving illegal immigrants reparations checks. No, Brandon, they're two wings of the same bird. I don't understand nuance. I don't have reading comprehension skills. Find me the Republican who's like, hey, we need to give illegal immigrants reparations. Then come back and tell me how they're two wings of the same bird. That's all we care about. We deflect. If you point out how Democrats voting Democrat hurts black Americans are going to start trying to deflect and say, well, voting for the Republicans ain't going to change nothing. They the two wings of the same bird. But the thing is, they're still going to go vote for Democrats. No matter what, they're still going to vote for them. But you cannot find me the Republican who's like, yo, let's give illegal immigrants reparation checks. But you'll keep telling yourself, oh man, they're just two wings of the same bird. No, you just don't want to accept the reality. So you can operate in a self-destructive manner and then try to blame it on other people. That's what it really is.
This is exactly why the Democrats are bleeding black votes right now, and it's only getting worse by the day. Just this week, the United
This Representative Jayapal.
This is exactly why the Democrats are bleeding black votes right now, and it's only getting worse by the day. Just this week, the United Nations passed a resolution declaring the transatlantic slave trade the gravest crime against humanity and calling for reparations. America voted no, along with Israel and Argentina. They said slavery does not deserve that recognition or reparations for the descendants of those who built this country. But here comes Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal, a prominent Democrat, holding a hearing today and openly demanding reparations, not for the descendants of American slaves, but for illegal immigrants. She says they deserve reparation because ICE enforcing the law has caused them trauma. Let that sink in. Foundational Black Americans whose ancestors were brought here in chains, built this nation for free, and still suffer the generational effects, get told no reparation.
This representative,
Man, I'm telling you right now, if Hispanic immigrants deserve reparations for ICE enforcing the law, every Black person sitting up in prison right now should be getting a check next week. If you are stupid enough to let them give somebody a reparations check for getting arrested by ICE after they broke the law, before they give a reparations check to every Black person sitting up in an American prison, you're absolutely stupid. You're absolutely retarded. For as long as I can remember, no one got a check because they got arrested for breaking the law. Now we're going to just change the rules. I'm telling you, when I'm telling you that the Democrat Party is pandering to illegals, and I still can't understand why, this is something that needs to be investigated. Why? What politician in what country on earth panders to a bunch of people who can't even vote for them? Make that make sense. Sucker Season LA said Black folks rejected the platinum plan for this. Laugh out loud. 1,000%. Trump ain't ever gonna give us no money. He ain't gonna do the platinum plan. Shit. At least it would have got proposed. At least he could have did an executive order. At least he could have told the Republicans, I want y'all to get this passed. It's a way better. It was a way better idea than what the Democrats gave you, which was nothing, not even a proposal. Lip service. We rejected the platinum plan from Republicans in exchange for lip service from Democrats. It's stupid. Here goes Redbone. Stop voting. Your vote doesn't count. Now, this is about the dumbest advice right here. Your vote does count. If you vote in coalition, if you stop voting Democrat, your vote will count. You know what makes the Black vote count? Your vote only counts if you use it to punish Democrats for 75 years of straight up disrespect. Your vote only counts if you use it to your vote only counts if you use it to punish Democrats for over 100 years of open racism towards the Black community. Then switching from overt racism to covert racism. And then having the audacity to attempt to humiliate us by offering or proposing reparations for illegal immigrants that they told Black Americans they don't have the money for. That your vote counts, but now your vote is a weapon. And you could either choose to use it against Democrats or lay it down, bend over, and let them continue to kick you in your ass, because that's what you deserve and need if you don't realize that you need to punish these people with your vote. That's all. That is the usefulness of the Black vote. It only counts, and it's only worth something if we use it to punish Democrats. If we use it to punish Democrats for playing in our face, bruh. If you ain't ready to do that, then stay your ass away from the voting booth, man.
This is
Y'all, check out this video of this representative who says that we need to have some type of reparations for the people who are traumatized by ICE.
We also need offensive actions around prosecutions. We need real accountability because at the end of the day, the people that have been inflicting this harm need to be prosecuted. They need to be brought before us and they need to be held account for the trauma that they have created, and we are going to have some form of reparation.
Why is everybody all of a sudden now talking about reparations? Reparations this, reparations that, like just tossing the word around like it's nothing, just diluting the whole idea of reparations. And this is the reason why people are starting to see that the Democratic Party is not for Black Americans at all. The Democratic Party has never been in our favor. They will prioritize and give everything to everybody else, every other minority group, POC, that comes over here, whether if it's illegally or legally. They don't care as long as they will do anything for them, but won't do nothing for us. Because when have you ever heard a Democrat talk about giving reparations to the descendants of chattel slavery in America? The only people who actually would deserve the reparations.
They say they're not going to do it. Guys, we got Black Democrat for life in the house. I mean, I would love for this dude to educate me. I'm putting a link in the comments. If you want to come up and give your opinion, you're more than welcome. Please come up and educate me as to why a Black man is going to use a bunch of words he don't even know the meaning of to excuse voting for Latino immigrants to get reparations and Black folks to get nothing. Think about this. You have Black people who are totally consigned to this. They're like resigned to this fact, this idea, like, I'm going to vote Democrat no matter what. They're not even looking at the policies. They're not even listening to what's being said. Everything is just like out of blind loyalty. I got to vote Democrat, so that's what I'm going to do. And it's really pathetic. It's really pathetic. This is his excuse. The Republican Confederate flag loving fascist party. So this Black man is going to vote himself up the river because of the Confederate flag. What impact does the Confederate flag have on your everyday life? Is it a dog? Do it jump up and bite you in the ass when you walk by it? Is it a snake? Do it drop down from a tree and bite you on the neck and poison you till you die? No, this dummy is literally like, yeah, because I don't like the Confederate flag, so I'm going to vote against my own best interest. Loving fascist. Bet you this guy couldn't even come up here and tell you what a fascist is. There's no fascism in the United States. Where? They can never point it out. They can never point it out. Maybe if you talk about Democrat-run cities, there might be some fascism going on there. But they're just saying stuff. I got 3 words, and those 3 words are what I'm going to hold on to justify me voting against my own best interest. It just makes no sense, man. It's diabolical. But I put the link in the comments for bro. If you want to click up and tell us in what way is the Confederate flag hurting him? And in what way is America, the Republican Party specifically, a fascist party? Like, it's bonkers. It's bananas. I'm surprised y'all don't want to discuss this topic. The link is in the comments. Someone told me to watch your so-called debate with Mark Lamont Hill. The way you embarrassed yourself was absolutely hilarious. I embarrassed myself because I didn't know that Mark Lamont Hill was in the Green Party, even though he votes Democrat every election, and doesn't know that a man can't have a baby. Mark Lamont Hill has already embarrassed himself to the full extent. But when Mark Lamont Hill comes to me and says, hey, man, I want to get together with you and let's talk about how we can do things to help the Black community. And then I get there and he's like, what's my political party? Justice for Palestine. Mark Lamont Hill writing books about Palestine, but won't say a word about Black folks. Won't say a word about reparations or none of that. Says it real quick to do some lip service and then goes and fights for Palestine. Man, just saying that makes you sound stupid. Just you saying that makes you sound dumb. But see, he's a black Democrat for life, but he's also a Mark Lamont Hill supporter, which proves my point that Mark Lamont Hill is a Green Party member in name only. He's only going to support the Democrats like every other black person. I'm an independent, but ain't never voted for no party other than Democrat. You're not an independent. You're just an idiot. You're just a dishonest idiot. Straight up. Here we go. Best path to equality was and always will be through the Democrat Party. People actually believe this. Can you tell me how the Democrat Party is making you equal by giving illegal immigrants reparations that actually should be going to you? How are you becoming more equal when illegal immigrants are being put at the front of the line in front of you? I swear, I pray, like on bro, like on Jesse Jackson's grave. I could never understand how black people think that a political party is gonna make them more equal. Please, look, are you guys as shocked as me? This is why you need to be watching this channel. Because y'all keep telling yourself, no black person believes that. Black people ain't really this damn ignorant. Yes, we are. In large numbers. The best path to equality was and always will be. So you're telling me when the Democrat Party created the KKK, that was them putting you on the best path to equality. You telling me when the Democrat Party voted against the Voter Right Act, that was putting you on the best path to equality. You're telling me when the majority of the Democrat Party voted against civil rights, their party was putting you on the right path to equality. Come on, y'all, this don't even make sense. This doesn't even make sense. Do you realize how dumb this sounds? The Democrat Party is going to make you equal by getting you to vote, by getting you to support them replacing you with Hispanic illegal immigrants. I'm not upset at all. I'm not upset at all. I'm just laughing at y'all. I'm laughing at you. Telling me that the party that's ready to give reparations to illegals but wouldn't even entertain your request for reparations is somehow the best party to help you reach equality. Can you tell me in which way you're not equal? Can you tell me what a white man can do in America that you can't do? Please tell me. And we know when you ask this question, the answer is always the same. Well, it ain't nothing that I can't do. But you don't understand systemic racism. Like, what? What? Kamala washes collard greens in the sink. How many black candidates for president ran in 2020 on the Democrat side? Not a one. Not a one. It was a gang of Indians up there. It was a gang of Hispanics and it was a gang of whites. But that's the party of equality. I'm listening to you, Josh. I'm listening to you, Josh. I'm listening to everybody who's been saying this for years, beating their head against the wall, trying to talk to black folks. Beating their head against the wall, trying to help black folks understand, guys, the old way is not working. Our parents, our grandparents were saying the same shit these people saying right now. Where did it get them? Your mama and daddy was saying the same shit these people saying. Now they all up in the reparations conference. What's up, TSM? Now TSM about to defend. Brandon, you don't understand. Immigrants really do need reparations. You don't understand, Brandon. They do need to cut the check for illegal immigrants.
No. You know what I do, my man? Hey, you got a point on this one. I'm with you on that 100%. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that at the end of the day, Hispanics will take advantage of this situation because, first of all, there are too many in this country. Two, a lot of people have empathy for Hispanic. I don't know why. I don't know why a lot of people have an interest in this with the Hispanic.
Yeah, a lot of people do have empathy, but the empathy mostly stems from the fact that most of these people exploit Hispanic labor. So they're like, we got to pretend to care about this so that our workers won't be mad type shit.
I can't hear you. Can you hear
Go
me?
ahead. Yeah, I can hear you. TSM, why you always got microphone issues? TSM, come back up. Something's going on with your microphone. Bro, listen, I don't even understand how a black person could still be voting Democrat at this point. Like, what are you getting? What are you getting? Look, people say, Brandon, why do you vote Republican? I vote Republican because I want less regulations. I want them to drill more oil so I can get cheaper gas, cheaper fuel, cheaper energy. You get cheaper energy, you drill more oil, your light bill goes down, your gas bill go down, the price of a plane ticket go down. Understand that. That's what I care about. I drive around, I run up my electric bill doing these streams, and I fly my ass all over the world, specifically to Africa and different countries in Africa. Those are the three things I got going. My daughter is going to be driving on her own. She's about to get a car. So when I fill up her tank, I want it to be nice and cheap. Very basic. Sucker season LA said it best. Groceries go down. I vote Republican because Republicans want to deregulate. Because regulation makes everything more expensive. That's why. Now, tell me why you want to vote Democrat. Because I want justice for everybody. Because the Democrats going to give me equality. Stupid stuff. You in 2026 talking about a political party is going to give you equality. You want to be equal, go buy a gun. So if somebody do something to you, you can shoot them dead. There's a quote. There's a quote. God made men, but Sam Colt made them equal. God made men, but Sam Colt made them equal. That's the guy who invented the Colt 45. Ain't nothing gonna make you equal other than having equal ability to kill if somebody tries to take something from you or do something to you. What the hell? We equal. No, you're equal. You got 2 damn arms, 2 legs, 10 toes, 10 fingers, 2 eyes, 2 ears, a nose, and a receding hairline and a heart problem. Like damn near every other man on the planet. You're equal. You're equal. The rest is effort. You know, that's why I love sports. Because sports is the best example of this. Like, sports is like, everyone has the same basic ability. And the rest is effort. You get in the blocks, track and field especially. You get in the blocks, you line your ass up, the gun goes off, and the rest is effort. Usain Bolt got a crazy stride. He was cooking fools. You never heard somebody say, you need to make me equal to Usain Bolt by giving me a 2-step head start. No, you're equal to him because you're in the blocks next to him. And God gave you a body that work. Now push it to the limits. Now push it to the limit. You hear people say, y'all need to make me equal to FloJo. Nope. You got all the same ability as FloJo. Now push it to the limit. I hate when I hear grown men talking about equality. You could be equal to a millionaire, but how much money, how much work are you willing to put in? Diesel prices have surged to over $5.38 a gallon in early 2026, marking a 41% increase due to Middle East conflicts and causing immense financial strain on the trucking industry. So there was Middle East conflicts in January. There's a conflict. When there's a conflict, things are going to be more expensive. But what caused the surge of prices under Biden? While he was telling you, go get the jab for COVID-19 while letting unvaccinated illegals into the country by the millions. Here you go. You should stupid as F, but I still support you, my brother. You mean you sound? Bro, no one defends their own ignorance and self-destructive actions the way black folks do. This in 100 years, this will be studied. This will be studied. But the more you guys criticize me, the more I'm like, what you're saying doesn't match what the rest of Black America is saying. Here's the question. Do you or do you not have a problem? All these dudes in the comments, and I know y'all been looking at the comments, so look at them now. Do you or do you not support giving reparations to illegal immigrants? We could stop all the bull crap and just get down to business. Do you or do you not support giving illegal immigrants reparations?
So let's start with a quick question because you know I'm way too mentally unstable to be dealing with this right now. Democrats, are you fucking dumb? Here we go. This is being reported by the HuffPost. House Democrats call for reparations for children and families traumatized by ICE. So, Representative Pramila Jayapal, a Democrat from Washington, on Friday called for federal reparations for the children and families who have been traumatized by U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement officers amid the chaotic and lethal enforcement of President Donald Trump's immigration agenda. Jayapal made her case during a congressional hearing called Kidnapped and Disappeared, Trump's Attack on Children, which focused on the nationwide ICE deployments and the need for defensive reform to prevent federal agents from continuing to inflict emotional damage. That's what she said this shit is, emotional damage. And she says that, and then we also need offensive actions around prosecutions. We need real accountability because at the end of the day, the people that have been inflicting this harm need to be prosecuted. That I actually do agree with. It says she continued to say they need to be brought before us and they need to be held to account for the trauma they have created, and we're going to have some form of reparation for the kids and families that have been traumatized. So they're actually saying that the number of children in immigration detention has skyrocketed. Federal immigration agents arrested more than 3,800 children between January and October 2025, per the Immigrants' Rights Clinic at Columbia Law School, and that was another analysis they did by the Guardian. So that's where they're getting the numbers of the 3,800 children. So Jayapal on Friday called for these for-profit immigration detention centers to be abolished. And, you know, and I agree with that to a certain extent, but she is absolutely batshit crazy when we have black people in this country who have not been awarded or given, I'm going to say, any kind of reparations. And we just saw the vote from all of the countries that happened overseas, and the United States was one of the countries that said, no, slavery should not be categorized as one of the worst atrocities in history. And that no, you know, African Americans or those of African American descent should not be given reparations. So let's just go over a really quick list here, just to remind everybody who the United States did pay reparations to. So my screenshot is over here, so I'm gonna be looking over here. Here we go. So 1971, the U.S. paid $1 billion plus 44 million acres of land to Alaska natives for a land settlement. Here we go. 1980, the USA paid 81 million to a group of Native Americans in Oregon. I'm not pronouncing the names because I don't want to mispronounce the names of these tribes. 1985, the U.S. awarded 105 million to some Native Americans in South Dakota. 1985, the U.S. awarded 12.3 million to Seminoles of Florida. 1985, the U.S. awarded 31 million to another group of Native Americans in Wisconsin. 1990, 1.6 be with a billion, or if you break it down, $20,000 per Japanese American citizen to what they did with the Japanese. And if we really want to add something else, here recently, within the last 5 years, the governor over there in New York actually, she awarded, I think it was about 180 something million.
Listen, man, we could keep talking about the numbers all day. Oh, even when she said, well, that I personally agree with. You listen, with these Democrats, it's either all or nothing. You can't be trying to partially agree with them and stuff. These people are demonic. Like, imagine me being like, yeah, man. Okay, imagine you find somebody who has their car and they're broke down on the side of the road with their car, right? And you pull over and you're like, hey man, you need some help? They're like, yeah, man, I need a jump. You be like, yo, you got cables? Yeah, but first you got to help me take this dead body out the trunk so we could get to the cables, because the cables are under this corpse that I murdered and then put in the trunk. This is the Democrat Party. What you like, everything they say is just to like cover up all the demonic stuff that they like want to do. How do you find common ground with people who want your daughter to have to go in the bathroom with a transgender? How do you find common ground with people who want to take the rights of the parents away to control what you can and cannot do to their children? Yeah, dude, I can agree with you. Ice cream tastes great. But that doesn't mean that I like it so much that I want a transgender guy in the bathroom with my kid. This is what they do. Let me throw out some sweet bullshit, and then you gonna accept. And then black Democrats, they've basically been silenced. Because a lot of them don't really rock with a lot of this shit. But to keep their title as a loyal Democrat, they got to go along with it. They got to go along with it. And then Tina, you sold out. Tina, can you tell me what part did I sell out on? Was it the part where I was like, I don't want schools and doctors to be able to decide to mutilate a kid's genitals without their parents' consent, or even with their parents' consent? Is that the part where I sold out? Did I sell out because I don't want grown men in the bathroom with my daughter and my female family members? Is that what makes me sell out? And then they say, you're uneducated. Just tell me what I'm saying is not true. Am I a sellout because I don't want grown-ass men allowed to go into prisons with women as inmates, then they rape them? That makes me a sellout? Listen to yourself. You're a grown-ass woman talking about somebody as a sellout because they don't want to accept demonic bullshit. That makes you a sellout. You're not looking at the bigger picture. What is the bigger picture of letting a grown man go in a bathroom with little girls? Please tell me. What is the bigger picture of letting a grown-ass man go in the bathroom with little girls? Just tell me. I'm a sellout. I'm a sellout because I don't want to let people just do whatever they want in society. That I'm a sellout because I don't want that. Let's look at this. Let's look at this. Not wanting this to happen outside of restrooms in my city makes me a sellout. Not wanting this type of crap to be an everyday occurrence in my city makes me a sellout. Okay, man, I got you. I got you.
That was not cool. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Go on. Go on. Go on. Go on.
I'm trying to warn you. I'm trying. Listen here. We in Chicago.
It's 2023. Hey, let me talk to her. Let me talk to her. Yo, you're not gonna talk to my daughter. You ain't got no right to think you're gonna talk to my daughter. You a whole grown man. I don't care what.
You can talk to the daughter in the bathroom.
In the bathroom. No, you're not gonna go in this bathroom. You better go over there. Oh yes, I am. No, not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. Matter of fact.
I'm the sellout. Listen, guys, they're telling you that this ain't happening. That's their mindset. This isn't happening. What are you talking about? This dude wants to go in a bathroom to talk to a little girl. And he a grown-ass man. This man wants to go in a bathroom So and talk to a girl. Bro, you don't even vote for this. You go to California, they just do a executive order. They override the vote. I don't care if she was an actor. You could say that. But this is happening. Okay, let's say that that's an actor, right? Okay, because we got to find excuses. That's an actor. Okay, that's cool. Y'all can say that. I don't know if it is or it isn't. Okay, is this an act? Is this an act? Tell me. Is this an act? Female prisoner says she was raped by a transgender. How can you be raped by a transgender unless they put a man in women's prison? Man posing as transgender raped female prisoner. Assaulted by her cellmate. A trans woman basically took advantage of a female inmate. DLJ launches investigation of trans prisoners, plural, raping women in women's prisons. California, trans woman ill-treated and raped in jail. Pronouns used as center of rape case involving former inmate. Come on, guys. That's fake. Why is that even a thing? Why is this even a discussion? Now, if someone is wild enough to do that while they're in prison, what makes you think that they wouldn't do that when they're out roaming free? This is real. You can say what you want to. No, you're fine. Listen, if you tell me that something is fake, I'll just go prove the real. Because I know it's really happening. You want to talk about in schools? You want to talk about the you want to talk about the high schools where the boys are going to school saying they transgender and then they going up in the girls' bathroom raping the girls? Judge finds transgender teen guilty of sexual assault. Family of Loudoun County student sexually assaulted. Like, that was in Virginia. This also happened in California. And then it's a bunch of this crap going on. I don't have time to sit here and look it all up, but it's going on. Whether we want to accept it, minimize it, whatever, it's a lot of it going on. And there's a lot of it going on unreported. The point is, why are we creating problems in our society that didn't exist prior. No, it's all good. If that's a fake thing on X, correct me. I'm just going to pull up. Because let's be real, y'all. There's other accounts. What about my girl? What about right here?
Asking you and telling you, please do not use women's faces. It makes them feel uncomfortable.
My girls and the other women I am with are very comfortable with being in the bathroom.
Well, fortunately, I'm not your on the basis of the comfort. Hang on. On the basis of the comfort and dignity of girls and women, I'm asking you and telling you, please do not use women's faces. It makes them feel uncomfortable.
My girls and the other women I am with are very comfortable with being in the bathroom.
Well, fortunately, I'm not your daughter, and my daughter is also not your daughter.
No, that's right.
And she would feel, very uncomfortable. Right. No, you interrupted me.
Excuse me.
You interrupted
I'm not here
me.
for a debate. Beth, do you mind?
Right.
I would ask you to please call up your daughter.
I beg your pardon. I'm asking you as a mother. I'm asking you as a mother. Do not use female spaces.
And I'm very uncomfortable.
It makes women and girls feel very uncomfortable.
As a mother,
You are not. How dare you?
As a mother, I am very.
You're not a mother. You'll never birth your children. You are not a mother, Dawn.
Right.
I did the job of mom, which is even more.
On the basis of the comfort, hang on. On the basis of the comfort and dignity of girls and women, I'm asking you and telling you, please do not use women's faces. It makes them feel uncomfortable.
My girls and the other women I am with are very comfortable with being in the bathroom.
Well, fortunately, I'm not your daughter, and my daughter is also not your daughter.
No, that's right.
And she would feel, very uncomfortable. Right. No, you interrupted me.
Excuse
You
me.
interrupted
I'm not here
me.
for a debate. Beth, do you mind?
Right.
I would ask you to please call up your daughter.
Grown men with big dicks in the women's locker room. And that's why I'm getting kicked out. And I want to make sure the girls know. The fuck? Everybody saw that man in the fucking locker room. No one's saying shit. And I'm fucking done with it. It's fucking stupid. It's dangerous. Me naked in front of a man without my permission. I'm the one who gets kicked out the gym, y'all. I'm terminated for not wanting men in the locker room. And that goes.
Come on, bro. All I'm saying is it's happening. But we're going to keep telling ourselves it's not happening. It's not happening. It's not, because that's what black people do best. Deny shit. That's obviously happening. Do remember, we come from the community that protects the creepy uncle that's touching all the kids. And you know what all the women in the family do? They deny it. You know what all the men in the family do? They deny it. Straight up plausible deniability is what we live on. And then when someone calls it out, oh, Brandon, you got to have facts to prove that, Brandon. Bro, the women are getting raped. What more facts do I need? And here we go, Lay. You're tap dancing for daddy because you don't want men in women's restrooms. Like, listen to these people. You're a sellout because you don't want men in women's restrooms. You're a sellout because you don't want illegal immigrants to get reparations after they've been telling you for decades that they don't got the money for it. Understand that. I didn't protect anybody. You sound dumb. You protect Adam 22 because you keep watching him. That's who protects Adam. It's so funny with the No Jumper shit where a bunch of people who refuse to stop watching No Jumper will jump on No Jumper to tell you that you some type of pedophile for protecting Adam. But they give Adam the number one thing that gives him power, views that generate revenue for him. I don't watch No Jumper. You do. You do. So who's protecting him? Not me. I don't even know the guy. Who's protecting him? Your views that generate money for him are protecting him. They're not blocked. They're here. Right here, bam. It's stupid. But this is the world we live in. Everybody wants to pretend like they're like so virtuous. Oh man, yeah, I care about pedophiles. I care about the kids. They will go watch a pedophile. Bro, you know when I know people don't care about pedophilia? I got people, they're not even my friends. They're people I know. Bro, they're over here quoting Scott Ritter, a dude who was convicted of being a pedophile. They'll take his word as long as he's talking against Donald Trump. Oh, I go watch a convicted pedophile so I can call Trump a pedophile and say nothing about the pedophilia of the convicted pedophile. Man, this stuff, this Democrat support stuff is ridiculous. It's so bonkers that even celebrities are showing some spine now and calling it out. I don't know if you guys saw this, but Nick Cannon recently did like a little ride-along interview with Amber Rose, and it wasn't bad. But they talked about the Republican Party, what made her move over to the Republican Party, and Nick Cannon has some very strong words for the Democrat Party. Because I'm sure as a father with several daughters, he doesn't want this funny-duddy, silly putty. The funny thing about what Nick Cannon is saying, first of all, he's quoting W.E.B. Du Bois. That dude was a joke in his own right with the stupid stuff he was talking about, the talented 10th and all that shit, right? In the NAACP, which is a white-created organization that at the initial inception didn't even have black people on the board of it. So let that sink in. But two evil parties, there's one party with two evil agendas or two names or whatever, right? Bro, listen. The party is not even evil. The people who support the party are evil. You can look in my comments right now and see loyalist Democrat voters being like, if you don't want men in women's bathrooms, you're a sellout. Do you think they felt that way 20 years ago? These same dudes 20 years ago would have been ready to beat a dude up for trying to go up in the women's bathroom. Yo, grandma, when she first sat down in church, would have never been cool with a gay dude running the choir. But over time, after being massaged by the Democrat Party and needing to prove herself loyal to the Democrat Party, she allowed it. Black folks used to kick their kids out the house for being gay. And then next thing you know, they cool with the pastor up in the church is gay. Black folks Democrats said, look, we going this way. Black folks just folded. Black folks love Democrat Party more than they love Jesus, for sure. So stop with the nonsense of, oh, there's two evil parties, da-da-da. No, bro. It's just a bunch of evil people supporting their evil party. Because everyone has their own personal reasons why they vote for a particular party. But a black person telling me, I'm voting for my daughter to have to go in the bathroom with a grown man because of racism, that's bullshit. That's 100% bullshit. And you're mad at me because I know it. You're using Nick Cannon and Amber Rose as a stand-up representation. What's wrong with them? They're people too. They have opinions too. Dudes out here supporting pedophiles. Okay, whatever you say, man. People just have... Pedophile is like the new fascist. People just throwing that word around so much, bro. Only groups supporting pedophiles are Democrats in California, trying to lessen the penalties for pedophiles, trying to keep pedophiles out of jail and all that, bro. I'm seeing it firsthand, so just stop. Democrat Party members and supporters have no issue with pedophiles. He fucks with Trump. Y'all just mad. It's sad that celebrities, people who have done all types of crazy stuff to be, given access to that space. It's crazy that they're actually waking up before you so-called liberal do-gooders, you empaths and everything like that. I'm an empath. I feel people's energy. Well, you feel women's energy when they say, I don't want to get raped in the bathroom when I go to take a pee. You don't feel nothing. All you feel is loyalty, fierce, suicidal loyalty to the Democrat Party no matter what. These people support Democrats so totally that they will put themselves in danger just to be loyal to the Democrat Party. It's crazy. And now black people are learning firsthand. Well, this is what you get when you vote Democrat. Now they're talking about giving reparations to illegal immigrants. You've been fighting for reparations for decades. And now they're just like, yo, we're going to give this to illegal immigrants. They're the ones who need reparations. People who aren't even citizens of this country are like, yo, yeah, let's give it to them. I wonder what these people, if Donald Trump said, we're going to give illegal immigrants reparations, I'll be done with his ass today. What? What the hell? You're going to give illegal immigrants reparations? Even though Trump could say, well, I offered y'all $500 billion for the platinum plan, but y'all didn't want it. I would still be like, I ain't fucking with Trump. Y'all would still vote Democrat, bro. Watch the next election. Even though Democrats have told these black people, look, once we get power, we going to give reparations to illegal immigrants. Watch black people still go vote Democrat at 90%. And then when they give it to illegals, they're going to get mad. You want me to tell you how I know this is a fact? Look at all the money that Asians got for the anti-Asian hate bill. They gave Asians millions of dollars, bro. Saying, oh, black people are trying to attack Asians. What did the millions of dollars fix? But they got it. Then, remember when Biden was on the phone call with all those black pastors? He said, you blacks are going to have to get used to answering the Hispanics because pretty soon they're going to be the majority in this country. You know what black folks did? Well, he said that after blacks had given them their vote at 90%. But then you know what black people did? They turned around and voted for Kamala, who said, I wouldn't do anything different for what Biden did. Please, everything I'm saying is true. Biden said on a phone call with black pastors, you blacks are going to have to get comfortable with the idea of answering to Hispanics because they will soon be the majority of this country. And you're going to have to learn to go through them to get things that you want. Biden said that. That's a fact. I did a show on that. What did blacks do? Blacks turned around and went 4 years later and voted for Kamala Harris, who said, I have nothing that I would have done. There is nothing I would have done differently from Joe Biden. I'm telling you, you can say whatever you want, but we're settling ourselves up the river while screaming that blacks who jump off the Democrat plantation are sellouts. You're following Trump. Bro, our ancestor will not, we got dudes like Thomas Sowell, Walter Williams. They've been saying this for decades and decades, long before Trump ever thought about running for president. So they're just a bunch of liars and idiots who don't know what they're talking about. No, bro, you are the willfully obtuse idiot who refuses to accept the truth. That's the only fact. We are the willfully obtuse who refuse to accept the truth about the Democrat Party. And the Democrat Party knows that. They know they got you by the balls. They know they got you. And guess what they're going to do? They're going to keep using you for as long as they can. For as long as they can. You got Black Authority and these other black dudes, the reparationists. Democrats talking about giving Hispanic immigrants reparations, and they over here still attacking Trump. Y'all supposed to be the head niggas on reparations, right? They talk about giving away reparations that black people been fighting for. These dudes can't even be bothered to do a show on it. They're just like, whatever, it doesn't matter, let's attack Trump. Because that's what black people like to watch. And most black, you could run stories on this till eternity. Black people aren't going to watch it. Because a lot of us don't like the truth at all. We are violently opposed to the truth. We're violently opposed to it. You tell black person the truth, they'll damn near want to kill you. Call me the priest. It's them Jews, man. Right? I know, Jacote, you are definitely in one of the videos. But we're just violently we're just violently opposed to the facts, man. We still voting based on what our grandma told us to vote. Grandma dead, and you still voting based on what she talking about. Ooh. It's just absolutely crazy to me. And you know what? Let me tell you this. Nobody pisses me off with this shit, and who I think really represents this type of ignorance and cognitive dissonance more than Stephen A. Smith, man. Stephen A. Smith is like the perfect example of black ignorance when it comes to voting, like willful ignorance. This guy's like, oh man, he'll point out everything the Democrats are doing wrong, then turn around and be like, yeah, but I still vote Democrat. Yeah, this or that, but I still vote Democrat. This guy knows the reality, but he's like, I'm still gonna vote Democrat at the end of the day. He is just another typical black person. And the beauty of it is he puts it on full display for the world to see our hypocrisy. No, don't say pandering. This guy pointed, bro, leading up to the election in 2024, bro literally pointed out everything wrong with the Democrats' position. He went at Kamala, just dragged her to the dirt. He still was like, but I still voted for Kamala Harris. He was like, you have no policies. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're trying to do as president. All of that. Bro still voted for Kamala Harris. And when I saw that, I just shrugged it off like, that's most black folks. It didn't surprise me or nothing, because that's most of our people. We could know all the bad shit, and we're still going to vote for them because they own us. They are our modern day slave owners, slave masters.
And most of the things that he said I aligned with, man, and letting them.
It was legitimate. It's like, oh my God, we're finally freaking. You saw how exaggerative and how extra folks were. It's because of that. I totally agree with you. I don't believe anywhere in hell 81 million people wanted Joe Biden to be president. But I do believe 81 million people wanted anybody but Donald Trump. So because of that, it makes it because of that, it made it believable in terms of chaos, how much noise was being made. You know how people were like, you had people celebrating in the streets like, oh my God, we're finally freaking. You saw how exaggerative and how extra folks were when Trump was put out of office. So I'm saying that to me was emblematic of a large portion of America saying we wanted a break from all of that noise. That's why I believe the election was legitimate.
But okay, Stephen A. So let me push back at you a little bit.
Sure.
Why are Democrats so against voter ID?
Well, hold on. We ain't got to argue. Me and you align with that. It don't make no. I'm not supporting. Listen, you got to have an ID for everything. They ain't right. I'm with you with that. I mean, I think
so. Stephen A. Smith can understand that something is fishy about Democrats pushing back against this idea of voter ID, right? But he can't understand that this really looks like, it's pointing to this, is looking like they're opposed to voter ID because they're letting illegals vote in elections, or they're doing some fishy stuff in the elections that they don't want people to find out. So, because they don't want to get caught. I'm with you on that. Okay, so put two and two together, dummy. They're opposed to voter ID, which would rein in a lot of voter fraud and all types of funny business with the elections. But you simultaneously believe 81 million people came out to vote for Joe Biden, who people barely even saw on the campaign trail. Joe Biden, who couldn't even win a midterm. Come on, guys. 81 million people who didn't even vote for Joe Biden in the primary suddenly was like, yeah, let's go out and vote for him for president. This is America. Most people, when they don't like either candidate, they just don't show up. I'm not fucking with it. I'm not dealing with it. But all of a sudden they all jumped and, ooh, I'm so enthusiastic because this guy gave a speech with a bunch of people sitting in their cars. It was BS. You think Donald Trump's like, let me waste my money because this didn't happen, trying to take it to court. It wasn't that the courts came and ruled on it. People were like, Trump tried to take this to court, and they wouldn't even hear the case. And people were celebrating because our justice system basically refused to allow Trump to expose the fraud that was taking place in our elections. People were celebrating that. That's garbage, man.
I do think it was ridiculous, but I also pay attention to Senator Fetterman, who's been supportive for the most part of the Republicans. When he said, when Fetterman said, quote, he said certain things about the SAFE Act are a bit extra. Yeah, you essentially got to have a passport, and it is more difficult to get ID, under these restrictions that they're putting out there than it was before. So I do believe that, but that doesn't mean that both sides can't come together and resolve that in a damn day. And for the Democrats to act like no ID should be required or whatever, like California and some of the stuff I learned about them and what they're doing under Gavin Newsom, that is utterly ridiculous. So you and I we ain't far off on that.
But that tells me, though, that they're fighting for it for a reason. And I don't believe it's because they really believe that people are being disenfranchised at the polls. I believe that they're fighting for it because they truly believe that it's going to affect whether or not they get elected and future elections. And I believe that the Democrats, their whole strategy, because as people get older and wiser, this is not even my opinion, this is a fact. Most people evolve to become more conservative, and then they sometimes, more often than not, deflect over and to become a Republican, right? When you're younger, that's really a Democrat's game is being, liberal, right? Because you don't know any better. But as people get older and wiser, they never defect from the Republican Party over to the Democrat Party. It's usually the other way around, right? So what they have to do is they have to find new voters and new people that support them. And I believe that the civil rights movement was hijacked by feminism. Feminism ultimately was hijacked by the LGBTQ movement, which Obama ushered in, and he solidified that. I believe that diversity, equity, and inclusion was ultimately the thing that they really leaned on in order to make sure that they had people in the voter rolls.
Bro, only black conservatives can sit down with you and perfectly lay out the reasons why they became conservative. You could get a Democrat who been voting Democrat for 40 years straight, and they will never be able to sit down and tell you why they became a Democrat. Like, people who can line it up for you, they got way more comprehension and understanding than people who are like, yeah, I just vote this way because my parents told me to. That's black Democrats. I'm just voting like this because this is what my parents told me I should do. I'm not letting any new information have an effect or impact on me. I'm just voting this way because that's what they told me I'm supposed to do. Period. Democrats don't help no damn poor people. Why? If let me tell you, somebody said they say because Democrats help poor people. Guys, if Democrats help poor people, why is Skid Row in LA? In a state that is totally controlled by Democrats. Gavin Newsom is literally suing LA, the city of LA, because he said they are not dealing with their homelessness issue. All Democrats. Democrats suing Democrats for not dealing with the homeless issue. Democrats don't help nobody poor. Democrats steal from the poor. That's what Democrats do best.
That not only identified as black, not only identified as Latino, not only identified based off of their sexuality, but they needed a whole new voter class. And I think that immigrants was definitely the play. And that's why they're fighting so hard against voter ID.
But I don't disagree with most of that. What I'm saying is we can point to things that the Republicans do, the conservatives do, to position themselves for the same thing. For example, when you're redistricting in Texas, for example, and other places, you're doing that because you want to position yourself to get most votes.
Absolutely.
Bro, they've been redistricting in blue states. Vermont, Massachusetts, all those states, a Republican will never win in those states. They've totally redistricted those states. They've been doing it for years. They've been doing it for years. Everybody, oh, you see Texas, look how they redistricted. Republicans redistricted. They have to do that because you got all these people who are Democrats coming from Democrat states where they can no longer afford to live in, and they're going into Republican states. They're going to red states, and they're keeping their voting practices. So redistricting is necessary there. California doesn't need to do no damn redistricting. They got Democrats are running the state into the ground, but they're still running the state.
Politics. This is politics.
Absolutely.
So in other words, we can't hate on one side for coming up with a mechanism, you understand, to curry more votes in your favor.
We have to, Stephen A. And the reason that we have to is
Why?
because it's one thing to, you said it yourself. I can't even jump on an airplane unless they identify who I am. I can't I can't get a place to stay. I can't get a car. I can't get anything. But I can determine who it is that makes the laws that ultimately govern us. Like if that isn't the thing that we need to protect more than anything else in our culture, in our society, I don't know what is. So we have to be vigilant to make sure that every vote is valid and every vote is counted. And we can't just let, mail-in ballots or people being able to, I say gaslight us and to believe in that, this election is free and fair when it's not. And I don't believe that that's what happened in 2020.
Well, let me tell you this too. Let me tell you, because you left out something that's very, very important, Anton. When you in New York City and you need an ID to shovel snow, but you fight. I mean, you talk about telling on yourself. You talk about telling on yourself. Mom Donnie and the Democrats. It just went out the window. You fighting for the safe act not to exist, but in the same breath, you require an ID to shovel damn snow.
100%. Why listen. This country is very much based on being able to prove who you are, who you say you are. But then all of a sudden, that's not important when it comes to voting. And I don't even think it's so much for illegals voting in elections as it is to they know that if you make everybody have to have an ID, right? You're going to be purging the voter rolls of dead people voting twice, people harvesting votes, all this crap. They know you're going to be purging the system of that. And I believe those are the things that keep Democrats competitive. All types of little loopholes and things that aren't being, overseen, that's helping them get in. It's ridiculous to me. But hey, Stephen A. and Anton was going in. Let's go to another little part.
Okay. Anton Daniels right here, straight shooter with yours truly, Stephen A. I wanted to get to the black community in this regard because one of the things that, listen, like I said, I don't consider myself a black conservative. I consider myself a black man who is an independent that leans left on some things and leans right. That's me. That's how
you're a Democrat. That's what Stephen A. Smith is. Stephen A. Smith, until he proves otherwise, is just purely a Democrat. He's going to vote Democrat no matter how many flaws in their process, their reasoning, their policies, their proposals. He's going to vote Democrat. And until further notice, because he proved that's who he is as a voter. No one who voted for Kamala Harris can tell me, what was her policies? What was she going to change? She wasn't going to change anything. If you ask me, if I'm a Democrat, I would say, well, Kamala wasn't going to change anything. It was going to be 4 more years of Biden, but just with a female in the position. And everybody hated Biden's policies. Everybody. That's why Trump was destroying Biden so bad in every poll. So you're telling me, oh, what can you expect from me? Well, I'm just going to keep rolling with bad policy. Yeah, bro. That's going to piss people off. But guess what? Stephen A. Smith still voted for her. You can't be what's the point of discussing policy and telling people your identity as a voter when you're just going to still vote for bad candidates? Stephen A. is full of crap.
how I think about myself.
You can't be that way, Stephen A. You cannot be that way.
I believe I can. I believe I can.
No.
We could answer. I will gladly come on your show. We can argue about that all day, every day, bro. I'm happy to. I can't. Oh, come on. Oh, please, man. All you got to do is say the word.
Because
you say the word, I will come on your show. It's not a problem. It's not a problem at all.
You could do that in sports. You can't do that in popular culture and politics.
Because
people in the middle get ran over. You got to pick one side or the other.
45% of the U.S. population is independent right now. I would beg to differ on that. It's climbing.
They not.
If anything,
man, 45% of the U.S. population is Democrats pretending to be independent, or independents who occasionally get mad at the Republican Party and say, "Well, I don't want to be counted in the party." Anton is 100% correct. He's correct, but and this is the thing too, and this is what Anton should have said to Stephen A. With all the funny, duddy gender manipulation shit, letting the transgenders in the bathrooms and all that. Stephen A., you got a daughter, fam. How do you feel about the idea of your daughter going in a bathroom with a grown-ass man dressed in a dress who you don't know if he's mentally stable? I mean, if you're transgender, you're already dealing with an identity issue. So your chemicals are not all right. They're already frazzled in your brain. Tell me, Stephen A., your beautiful, talented daughter, she goes on Stephen A's show. She's beautiful. She's well-spoken. She's right there with him when it comes to the commentary and all that. Are you okay with her one night, you know, she's at a restaurant or something late, she goes in a bathroom, and there's some big-ass Tyrone in there in a dress. And bro is, you know, hopped up on whatever he's taking, or his voices are getting to him today, and he goes in there and does something crazy. Are you okay with that? Because I'm not. I'm not. I have a daughter. She's 17. I'm not cool with it. Ask any man, is he cool with his girlfriend having to deal with that? Ask any man, is he cool with his wife having to deal with that? Everyone's going to say no, right? And many people, many men are going to vote against a candidate pushing that shit, except for the men who have been whipped and brainwashed by radical feminism that has been taken over by the LGBTQ. Let's be real. Oh, yeah, he's an entertainer for sure. But I love the way Anton called him out.
Listen, the independent vote, I think, is going to swing the election one way or the other. What do you say to that?
I don't believe.
You don't think that's going to happen?
I don't believe that 45% of the population is independent. I think that they say that as a cop-out, but not wanting to actually say out loud exactly what they represent and who it is that they support, especially within the Black community. It's not popular to say that you're a Republican. It's not popular to say that you're conservative. And so what people lean on is to say, well, I'm independent, in order to give themselves an out for what it is that they choose and not to be accountable for who they support. That's what really is happening. See, I don't believe in what people say. I believe in what people do, right? And I think that a lot of times people are peer pressured, especially today in the Black community, to vote against their own best interest because it's not popular to do when you can't be a part of the cool kids club. And so even with you, I don't like the fact that you apologize for some of the things that you said, because you were absolutely right, especially and particularly against how Jasmine Crockett was representing herself. But because the woke mob decided that they wanted to make you the punching bag and to come after you, and they still didn't and don't support you and didn't accept your apology. But in particular, and I'm saying it's not you, the Don Lemons, the Joy Reids, all of these people, they don't respect you unless you align with what they believe. And so even when it comes to diversity, equity, and inclusion, they don't believe in diversity unless it's aligned with what they believe, which goes against. It's an oxymoron, right?
Hey, Anton is cooking. Go watch that debate or that conversation. I don't want to play all his points on here, but bro, I need Anton's audience, bro. Anton Daniels has the best audience. Like, I believe my audience is the best, but I'm very, like, I got my, like, people, right, who, like, rock with me. I want my people, I want Anton's people, I want us all to merge. Because I feel like he's one of those people whose audience, they get it. Like, in my audience, I like having, like, people who disagree with me and people who agree with me, But dude, you gotta feel good to have an audience of people just like they get what you're saying. They feel you, right? They understand what's going on. Stephen A's audience is not loyal to anything. If ESPN fires Stephen A tomorrow, people probably wouldn't even watch him. They're loyal to brands and shit. And that you can't say Stephen A has been in that environment this long and that hasn't shaped a lot of who he is as a person, right? And so he's like a flip-flopper. He's in the middle, but he's really leaning one way. But he keeps screaming that he's in the... Bro, Proud FBA says Anton tap dances a lot. I see Stephen A tap dancing. I see Anton just coming down on points. He's like, I'm a conservative. I'm a Republican. This is what I think. I think the election was stolen. That ain't tap dancing. Those are statements that can ruin you, especially when you reach the level Anton's at. Understand that. Those are statements where if shit ever go left with social media, people will get those statements and you can't find a job. Understand that. Understand that. But I think you're listening to a straight shooter talking to a tap dancer. And the tap dancer is Stephen A. Every time, it ain't about levels, guys. Come on. Anton ain't on Stephen A. What level? There's the truth and then there's lies. That's the only level. That's it. It ain't about the money. It ain't about the money. The money is different. What is Stephen A doing with the money? Anton building homes, starting businesses, giving people jobs, bro. What is Stephen A doing? He's an employee. That's it. So if I got 10 million and I'm creating jobs and some dude got 100 million and all he doing is partying in the Maldives and shit every week, that 10 million is doing more than that 100 million is doing for society. The 100 million might be doing a lot for bro, but that 10 million is doing more than that 100 million is doing for society. Understand that. Yeah, I don't understand that, Talshan. What the hell is Anton tap dancing about? Guys, please help us reach our goal. We are trying to get 10. I shouldn't have did 10. I should have did 5. But we're trying to get 10 super chats of $5 or more. So if you're in a position to do so, we've been up here almost 2 hours. It's a great show. I'm loving the show. I'm loving the show. Please bless us if you're in a position to do so. I'm trying to hit my monthly goal. Every month since I came back and I've been back monetized, which I lost my monetization for almost 2 years. You guys don't know that. I've been trying to go up every month in my YouTube revenue, just to be honest. Also, when you guys pay me, that means I can do what I want to do. If I'm dependent on YouTube for ad revenue, I can't do whatever I want to do. I got to tap dance like Stephen A. I don't like to do that. I like for my audience to be my employer. If you guys approve of what I'm doing, you guys bless me with a super chat or Cash App or PayPal, which is pinned to the top of the chat, and then we could keep covering dope stuff, and we don't gotta worry about no damn censorship or we're demonetizing this video. I hate that. I hate when I see YouTubers tap dancing around issues and topics because they don't want to lose monetization. So if you can, bless the channel, help us reach our 10 $5 super chats. I think we already have 2, so we only need 8 more. So thank y'all already. And I don't know if somebody did something in the Cash App, so I don't want to miss anyone. So just let me check that real quick, because I hate when I end the show and I'm like, oh, somebody was hooking me up in Cash App and I didn't see it. Let's see. I don't even want to say this. I'm gonna say this to the end. Because if I say it, y'all gonna be like, oh, you already good. Whoa, hold on. Whoa. Fuck it, I'm just saying. Shout out to Patricia for the $30 Cash App. She got to get her acknowledgement one way or another. Y'all can still contribute if y'all want to, but Patricia came through in a major way on Cash App. And I'm saying, I just can't lie to my audience, bro. I don't like lying. As I get older, I just want to be more of a, I want to be like the wise old sage. They like, yeah, bro, gonna tell you the truth no matter what, bro. You gonna be ready to whoop, you gonna be ready to kick bro's ass, but he gonna tell you the facts one way or another. Okay, so y'all go over there and check out that conversation between Anton Daniels and Stephen A. Smith. It was beautiful. It was lovely. It was great. It was awesome. I loved everything that they were talking about. And I don't really know if there's any more topics that we need to discuss. There's always something cooking on social media. But, there's one thing that we haven't been talking about. The more we talk about the immigration issue, this is starting to come up because people keep on, they're shaming. They're like, oh, if you don't support the large influx of illegal Hispanic immigrants, you're somehow a bigot, you're a racist, you're this and that. They give you all these reasons, right? But the reality is no one wants to live in a country where they're excluded from society because they showed so much love or so much concern or empathy for another group of people. And the 2010 study conducted by Barack Obama, they said illegal immigration has a disproportionate impact on African Americans. That is negative. And this is because when illegal immigrants come in, they compete with African Americans for unskilled labor jobs. People don't want to accept that reality, but it's true. It's a fact. And many people are, unfortunately learning this the hard way as they're unable to find jobs in certain American cities if they don't speak Spanish. Now imagine you live in America and they tell you you can't work here because where the official language is English. You can't work at this job because you don't speak Spanish.
I am so sick of these people coming over here not speaking English, like not a lick of English. My Lyft driver just left me at my second stop. I had 2 stops. He left me at my second stop. Came outside, he was gone. If you don't speak English, I feel like you should not be qualified to do anything pertaining to customer service. Like Lyft, Uber, I'm tired of it. How are y'all maneuvering without speaking English? They just look at you or they make noises like they understand you. It's so irritating. It's so annoying. It's so irritating.
That guy's a fool. I would have never left a woman that beautiful anywhere. Anyway, this is a fact. This is a 100% fact. If you like, I think it's a safety issue. Because imagine if you go to a fast food restaurant and you choking on a damn hot dog or something, and you like, I need help. And they're like, ¿Por qué? No habla inglés. Like, bro, why are you here? The basic things you've come to expect as American are being eroded. Tina is saying a driver's license should be sufficient. Are you crazy? You shouldn't even be able to get a driver's license if you can't speak English. Because the road signs are in English. They're not in Spanish. So we know you missing signs and can't read them if it's not in English. So stop. That's silly. I think you should be required to at least attempt to learn English to be granted citizenship in America.
Like, do you not understand your job? How did you leave me at the second stop? Hello. So what do you do about my Lyft driver left me here?
Excuse me?
Never mind.
Sorry, no speak English.
Boy. So we got to talk about
Bro, this is real. These people are really out here, unable to find jobs, unable to get where they want to go, using services, and it's like, yo, wait a minute. This guy don't even speak English. Like, how's he going to give me quality service? And so what they're telling you is, RG's, and then this is my thing. It ain't like it's a shortage in Lyft drivers. That's the craziest part. It ain't like there's a shortage in Lyft drivers, bro. There's thousands of Lyft drivers who would like that work, but they're competing with people who don't even speak English. And it's hard for me to believe that you just don't even speak English and you're someone who's legally here. It's hard for me to believe that. Just tap into this.
In a native English speaking country, because that's the only language I was raised speaking. You notice before I moved to Dallas, I thought it was diverse. It's actually very Hispanic heavy out here. Cool, understood. And most of the jobs out here want you to be bilingual. Again, understood. But I didn't grow up bilingual. I'm Black. Never said I wasn't willing to learn Spanish. I just feel a little discriminated against because I can't get a job in a field that I'm pretty proficient in. I do my job well, but I don't speak. Never said I wasn't willing to learn, and they don't even offer training. And I know a little bit to get me by, but in a native English-speaking country, I can't get a job because that's the only language I speak. Make it make sense.
It makes sense because if I ask you who you voted for in the last election, oh, you know I voted for the Black woman, and the Black woman and the party that she represents have decided we are going to flood the zone with non-English speaking people, and so now you are a stranger in your own land in certain areas. The things that you were raised on, the ideas that were, instilled in you, right? The certainties that, were guaranteed to you. They no longer exist. You're looking for a damn job and can't find one because you don't speak a foreign language. You ain't going to work you're not going to work as a translator. That's the only job that should say, yeah, you don't speak another language, so you can't get this job. You basically got to be a translator now to work in this country.
Well, I mean, again.
But here's the funny thing. The owner of the damn company probably don't even speak Spanish. But the people, and let me tell you why you got to know Spanish. You don't have to know Spanish because you need to know Spanish to do the job. You have to know Spanish because 9 times out of 10, the manager up in that hole don't know English. So he has to be able to communicate with you to boss you around, right? And if he can't communicate with you, then guess what? That messes up the flow of the operation. That's all it's about. That's all it's about. It ain't about the customers, because the majority of your customers, no matter where you go, they're going to speak English. It's because the only guy who wants the job, being a manager in that location, speaks Spanish. And you, to be his subordinate, you have to understand what he's saying. And if you don't speak Spanish, you're not going to be able to understand what he's saying. And so they're like, no, we value this guy more than you, which they should because he's the manager. And you have to basically adjust yourself to, we need to hire people who are like he's more comfortable with. But also they could just be discriminating against you because they don't want to hire you. And I think that when they put the language requirement, I believe that that's a soft form of discrimination. They will keep people in the job looking like them. Oh, shoot. Hold on, guys.
ICE agents at the motherfucking, at the airports yesterday. Apparently they...
But, in my opinion, I think ICE is doing
panties in the ICE agents at the...
of native English speakers.
Apparently all the bum-ass black liberals on the fucking TikTok is upset because they seen black ICE agents at the motherfucking, at the airports yesterday. Apparently they all got their panties in a bunch talking about, oh, they done lost one and all that. No, you been lost one. It ain't just now, okay? We don't give a fuck about you niggas, bro. That's what y'all don't really understand, bro. Y'all don't control our lives and tell us how we can think, where we can work, what we can do just to fit y'all bum-ass narrative, bro. We don't fuck with y'all, bro. We gonna do whatever we want. We gonna go join ICE. We gonna go where we love that, bro.
Facts. Get your money, right?
Hey, I'm with them. Get your damn money, bro. Like, it's so funny to me. They trying to tell you where you can and can't work, but they not going to feed your kids. When your kid, daddy, we hungry. They not gonna come out their pocket like, here's a little something to help you. It's so crazy to me how black people are rugged individualists in everything that's positive in their life. But then when they want to do some negative demonic stuff, all of a sudden it gotta be a us thing. Dude, I'd damn near fire on somebody if I saw them harassing a black ICE agent. As many black people should join ICE as possible because black people built this country. And so we are the people who should be happy to join the fight in protecting it from criminals. But shoot, that pay is good. They paying a bonus. I wish these little fools around me would go join ICE today. Like, they need people. Go over there, get your money, and carry that gun and bust somebody over the head. ICE is gonna be funded. They're not gonna not fund it. It's gonna be funded. Whether it's funded initially because people got sense, or whether people got to wait till they start getting attacked by illegal criminal alien migrants, and then they say, oh my God, we need to fund ICE because they attacking us. It's gonna get funded one way or another one way or the other. I don't like that. And I like that bro came out there and made it clear, like, hey, ain't nobody worried about y'all. Y'all talking all y'all trash and y'all yin yang, but y'all ain't putting no food on my table every night. I can't stand that. And all that is black gatekeeping. That ain't nothing but black gatekeeping, period. You know, we love doing that to each other, trying to restrict each other for something, but 9 times out of 10 wouldn't even give each other a job even if we was in charge. But got a problem when you go work for the government. But Mexican folks is working for ICE like it ain't nothing. But black people are the only ones who got to get shamed. Do you hear black people saying anything about Mexican people working for ICE? No. Because if the Mexican get the money, black people okay with that. They just don't want to see you get the money. Because you look like them and they bred and they're filled with they're filled with self-hate.
It's fascinating.
Okay. So y'all niggas need to understand that ICE is not just motherfucking white people. See, that's the problem with liberals. Y'all thought ICE was motherfucking just white people. No. The dude that was arresting the lady that had her daughter, that we all the whole video, them niggas was literally Chinese that was arresting her. It was literally a Chinese man that was arresting her. So for y'all need to fucking stop thinking that ICE is only fucking white people, bro. That it's not. Now y'all in y'all panic bunch because y'all seen a bunch of fucking black ICE agents and shit. So what? Black people, we can't be fucking ICE agents? Can somebody please explain to me when the fuck did black people become the immigrant savior? When the fuck did we have to stand up for illegal immigrants? Like, this is what I be talking about with black liberals, bro. Y'all stand up for everybody else, but y'all won't stand up for us, though. Y'all sit on the internet and call us and bootlickers and shit, but y'all want us to stand up for a bunch of people we don't even fucking know. And now y'all got y'all panties in a bunch because y'all seen a bunch of fucking black ICE agents at the airport. Bitch, shut y'all bum asses up. All right? How about that? Why don't you bum ass go get a fucking job and stop fucking scamming and robbing people? And maybe we won't be having all these fucking stereotypes on our goddamn name. Y'all.
Hey, I can't agree with bro more. Bro's right. Most of the black people out here virtue signaling, acting like they're so virtuous and altruistic, they're scammers and welfare recipients. My homie Pete in high school used to call them swap meet recipients. He was like, because the only place you ever see them is the damn swap meet when they get their welfare check. I love that term, swap meet recipients. But it's true. People sitting on the internet all day with nothing but time to criticize black people out here struggling like everybody else. Bro, if you got Mexicans working for ICE deporting other Mexicans, you know people need their paper. Why condemn your own? Why condemn your own and make them feel bad and cause them the mental trauma, right? Right? Because they're just doing their job and trying to feed their family like everybody else. At this point, let me tell you something. Let me tell you the type of black person I am. I'm the type of black person that would literally vote Republican just because I see a lot of black men and women are employed by ICE and I want to keep those brothers and sisters in the job. Y'all about to vote for Democrats who about to try to criminally prosecute these black folks who work for ICE. And I promise you, the way the Democrat Party is set up, they're going to let the Hispanics walk free. They will only be prosecuting the whites and blacks who are doing their job. I promise you. You're stupid. ICE is indiscriminately hiring black folks, giving them guns and sending them out to the streets to do God's work, if you ask me. And black folks are ready to undermine them. And guess what? If you ask a black person, how do you benefit from undermining another black person who is gainfully employed and maybe for the first time in their life can feed their family, put food on the table, and have a little extra money to afford the luxuries of life? What do you benefit from it? Oh, Brandon, you know how I benefit by making it possible for a Hispanic person to come and replace me or displace me in my own country. We so gone that we're literally voting to put other black folks out of a job on behalf of a group of people that's going to come in and kick our ass out of the neighborhood and wouldn't dare hire us to work at one neighborhood. How many black people do you see working at a Mexican restaurant? You could go all over the world. You could go all over America. Show me a black person working at a Mexican restaurant. I don't care if it's a family style. I don't care if it's a damn window, a taqueria. Okay, I live in LA. I have never seen a black person working at a Mexican burrito stand. Ever. So you're going to put black people out of a job to bring in a bunch of people who overwhelmingly don't hire black people at all. We're not thinking. I know a lot of us are slow and a lot of us were crack babies because your mama smoked crack with you. That's fine. But you got to use your brain to the best of your ability. It don't take a rocket scientist to understand. Why would I displace my own people to usher in a bunch of people who do not operate in a communal way with my people? I don't get that. They don't hire you. But as a matter of fact, if you got a job and they gain power, they're going to fire you. They're going to fire you. Go online. Look at all the videos. Black folks crying, yeah, the Hispanics came in. There was just 2 huge lawsuits in California that actually got paid out because Hispanics were discriminating against blacks. Some guy was like a welder or some pretty good job. He got his son a job. Bro's son was getting harassed and called racial slurs by some Hispanics. Bro was on there crying on the news because he was like, bro, I never thought my son would have to deal with this. And the dude admitted that he had dealt with it for a long time, but he didn't think these dudes would have the audacity to do it to his son. They don't give a fuck about your son. You sure can't save everybody, but you can shame anybody. And that's what I aim to do. Hey, shout out to my girl. Wait, is this a guy? AJN or Ajane? Are you a woman or a man? I'm sorry, but thank you. I'm going to guess you're a woman. You can't say it. AJ. AJane. Woman or man? Thank you to my wonderful viewer, AJane 2025, for blessing us with a $5 super chat. I don't even know where we are in the freaking thing. I'm not going to lie to you. But I appreciate it. I appreciate you so much. Just know that. A woman, I'm happy that you're a woman, actually. I want more women to watch this channel. Thank you so much, my sister. I appreciate you blessing the channel with the $5 holler. I say this all the time. A lot of people we interact with are products of the crack here. Hey, that's true. That's true. I got family members that's on crack right now. I'm not knocking them, but it's just a reality, you know? But, man, it's a sad situation. Hey, bro came and cooked and told the whole truth and nothing but the truth. You can go over to Greg Foreman and watch the rest of that clip. I just be borrowing some of their clips because I don't be having time to clip it. I I was on volleyball duty today, man, and it was great. My daughter was cooking. Jesus Christ. Man, the way my baby cooked today at this volleyball tournament, I'm so proud. I'm a proud dad. Have you ever been a proud dad? Have you ever been like, dang, my kid is like doing it? That's how I was today. I'm always like that, but today especially, bro. I'm over there recording shit. Like, she's doing so well. I love it. I love it when like I remember to record it, and she's like doing good, and she's cooking, and because sometimes I be so involved in the game. Sometimes I be so involved in the game, it's like I don't think to record, and that's bad. Does that make me a bad father? Does that make me a bad dad? Does that make me a rude dude named Jude? Huh? Ooh. Hey, we gonna close out, but I'm gonna let y'all see this clip. Hey, bro, would I say we was cooking today? Would I say we were cooking today, bro? I mean, we were cooking today, like cooking today. I gotta show you. I even made like a little highlight clip. I was so proud. I was like, yo. This highlight. I made a highlight like during the game. Is that bad? Is that bad to do? Should I have been paying attention to what was going on? I was like, we cooking so hard. Let me just get the highlight up before anything else. And I did it. Check this out. This is so cool. I made this, by the way. I put my editing skills to good use today. I was proud of myself. I'm gonna make myself small so y'all can see everything. That might be a little bit inappropriate for you guys. Sorry, but we gonna bleep out the curse words and all that. But we just working on the highlights, so y'all know that that's a work in progress. But isn't that cool? Isn't that cool when your kid does well? I'm proud of my kids. I'm proud of my kid. Like, I'm super proud. Everything she does good, I'd be like, you are awesome. Let me record it. I'm straight like dad. I got the freaking camera, my freaking phone. I'm talking, cheering and all that. I'll be like, yeah, she's doing it. You know, but you got to give your kids like all the encouragement. Cause like when you watch sports, that's all confidence. It's all confidence. Cause she ain't even the tallest, but she plays big. You know what I'm saying? But it all comes from the support system. I promise you. You make your kid think they can do it, they gonna do it. But if you always going at the club and shit, they ain't gonna do it. they might not do it. I don't know. But she literally I don't know, I'd be so proud. I'm like the most dorky dad at the thing. And then like people look at me and they're like, this nigga looks scary. But then they see me like interacting with my kid and I'm just like super happy. You know, it's just always and then I'm like embarrassing her. I'm waving at her during her game and all that. So it's funny. But y'all got to see a little bit into my life. So yeah, we gonna be good. What the heck was that? Something popped up. Did somebody send something to Cash? Dude, I'm learning how to work my technology and stuff. Okay, cool. I'm learning to work my technology. But guys, I'm gonna get out of here. It's getting late. You know we're in sunny Southern California. So if you guys ever have any questions about Cali or anything, just shoot them. I'm here. I'm right here by the beach, man. We're living the life. We are living the life over here. Hey, shout out to Sucker Season LA. He dropped another super chat that I almost missed, almost forgot. Bam. People are working under other people's accounts. When they show up, it's a totally different person. Instacart, Uber Eats, etc. 1,000%. Your name's Juan. My name's Juan too. Can I use your Uber Eats account? So I can see that happening. And it does. Because I never got so many non-English speakers. And we live in California, but you're going to run into a lot of different people doing like delivery jobs because everyone has to grind in California. So you're going to get blacks, whites. It's starting to be all Hispanics that do not speak English. And Hispanics who are from here, they speak English. You know what I'm saying? And if they don't, they know some words, like enough to where they can get what you're trying to say. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. Hey, there are a lot of mixed girls in Cali. I love me a yellow bone. There's a lot. My cousin is visiting me. Bro was at that volleyball thing. He's 18, man, and my daughter plays 18s, but she's only 17. But dude, he got with some girl today. He got her number. She was absolutely gorgeous, and she was mixed. She was definitely mixed, bro. She was beautiful. I was like, dang, bro, you come out with your buff ass and pull the hottest girl in the whole shit. I said, okay, do it. Do it up, cuz. But all right, y'all, I'm out of here. Thank y'all for watching. I appreciate everything y'all do for me in the channel. Till the next time, peace. Blue eyes, yellow bone. Man, ain't no blue eye girl about to mess with you. She gonna have blue eyes, and it's gonna be just your luck. All your kids gonna come out ugly like you. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Have a great night, y'all. Peace.